that popped up, and I was just like, oh, nobody ever believed us when we saw the UFO. And that's what I wanted to see if he remembered the UFO, Sean.
Yeah.
He remembered the UFO. I'm like, because you ain't never going to forget when you saw a UFO.
Right.
That's just something I don't care. You never going to forget that.
You don't forget something like that.
Right. It's just that we've never really spoke on it since we were kids. Like, we saw it. I had to be in like 9th, maybe 10th grade. So, I'm 15, 16. He got to be 12. My buddy who with me, Drew, he was with us. He remembers too. Cause I'm like, when I remember bringing it up to him on Facebook, I'm like, yeah, remember that time we saw the UFO? Yep. He's like, he never, like, we never gonna forget. We tried to logically find an explanation in our brains, Sean, for that, what that thing could be. That's gotta be a test thing. That's no way is that a UFO.
Right.
Cause I'm like, what would a UFO be doing here? I was like, Sean, it flew over our heads.
Oh wow.
Like, and it stopped, like right where we were. At that time, as many people as on the streets, everything. And like normally on the block.
And y'all didn't have cell phones, did y'all?
Oh no, I wish we did have cell phone. I was trying to send my cousin, like, go in there and get some grown ups, let them come out here and see this to validate what we're seeing. So tell them right now, my cousin didn't leave to go get him until he was just in awe. He just couldn't leave. Sean, it was the three of us. Normally, everybody was out there.
How long did it stay over y'all before it left?
Sean, it was there for a long time. It was
so y'all could have really got the parents and came out and looked.
That's why I told him, I'm like, go. Because I'm like, I don't want to go and come back and it's gone. I told him, I said.
But none of y'all wanted to leave and go back.
No, I told him to go. Right? I'm like, dude, go get somebody. Go get him. So they can come see. But you said
there was other people out on the streets?
Before this happened, everybody was on the, like, we were all outside hanging out. So there's kids, people were walking around everywhere. When the thing came over us, it was just me, my friend, and my cousin.
Oh, everybody was gone by then?
Everybody gone. I'm like, oh, go in the house.
All right.
Go get somebody and shine. The light was like flashing. It was like the white light was flashing on me, my friend, and my cousin. The white light from the top. The bottom of it, it was like different colors. Going like red, blue, green. Just all flat going around, like rotating at the bottom of it. Just going by, and I'm like, what in the world is this? And it moved slowly, and it went right over the expressway, which is right there. There's an expressway right there. It went right on the expressway. Slow, Sean, just coasted. I'm like, what is this thing doing in Grove Heights? That's gotta be, first I'm like, maybe that's a new type of like flying blimp advertisement thing where they digitally put stuff at the bottom and have it. But I'm like, what is it be promoting? Like, what is this thing doing here? But that can't be a UFO. UFOs don't exist. I'm like, we ain't crazy. So I'm like, this stuff happened to white people in Indiana out in the field. They like crops. What are they doing in the hood? Like the inner city. This is not where they're supposed to be. I think they lost. So my buddy's like, man, that was a UFO. We just saw one. So my buddy, he's right away. Man, ain't nobody gonna believe us. Man, we saw a UFO though. So we like, man, and Pat, like, hey, we never gonna forget this. They gonna try to convince us that is not a UFO. Like, but we are not gonna let this slide. That was a UFO.
Oh wow.
And they was like, yeah, the government can come pick you up, man. You keep saying you saw a UFO, man, and you gonna lock you in a room, start doing tests on you. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, oh, we might as well, we gotta be quiet on this until we find out what that was. Yep, so that's how it was.
And your cousin remembered it.
He remembered it right away. As soon as I brought it up, yep. Yeah, I remember that UFO. Yeah. Because, he was 12, but he was just glad we were there to, say, like, all right, I'm not crazy.
Right,
Because I'm
right.
not the only person seeing it. Because if I was the only one to see that thing and no one else is around, I probably would never mentioned it in life. I've been like,
Right.
until it pops up again. Because I know if I told him, I'll be mine. I just saw a UFO. Boy, go sit down. I ain't got time for that. I'm telling the truth. I told you I'm tired.
So when you and your cousin, your friend was there, when you did go inside and tell them, did they believe y'all?
Of course not. My cousin went in there to go get him. By the time they brought him out, it was like going like over the hill. It was like, we saw a UFO. Went over there. Monty's like, where? He's like, oh, that's probably some blimp thing flying over the thing. He's like, I'm like, no, that was a UFO. It was just here.
Yeah, y'all might as well give up at that point. There's nothing you're gonna do to convince them.
Oh no, it's unreasonable. It would have to come here and land for them to actually try to believe it, and they still wouldn't believe it. Man, the government playing games. That's somebody with some special effects. Back then, it was, man, that's some David Copperfield, man. He doing some Copperfield stuff.
Right.
So they don't want to believe in anything supernatural.
Right.
You can forget that. So now, after that and told them, I said, look, I ain't even talking about it no more. So that was out of the question. No UFO talk. So me and him, so if we saw it, we could talk about it.
Right.
So I'm like, yep, that had the red stripes, and then they had that one white light that had flashed on us. And what shocked us is when we watched the guy from Mobb Deep, Prodigy, the rapper. Prodigy had done a special. Like the last thing he did, he talked to a therapist, and he talked about all these things he saw in his life, which was mostly biblical, but he could not understand it really. He thinks it was spiritual. This is the first time he really talked about it to anybody, because he didn't want anybody to
think he was crazy.
Exactly. And he said when he saw a black shadow, that was like, he saw the black shadows like following him. He's like, it was a black shadow. Like, I'm a grown man, and here come this black shadow. And the next day I woke up, I was in so much pain because he suffered from, he had sickle cells, but he was treating himself, and he didn't, and he was getting better because he was treating his body well. He hadn't had an attack in like 6-7 years.
Right.
And this one was severe it gets to the point where he can't walk.
Right.
And then he was like, but before that, I saw these black shadows. So he started like studying and like trying to learn, like, what does this mean? And he found out that these black shadows are like these demons, like they attach themselves to they're attracted to negativity, like negative energy. They're drawn to it. And they suck off you, like they feed off you, that negative energy. And they appeared like shadows. And I was like, because they don't have, like, there's a soul, so you basically just see like the black shadow of them. And they move around and attach themselves to you. So that's what he had learned and found out, trying to find out about these black shadows. Then he mentioned he saw a UFO, Sean.
Oh, that's what did it for you.
He mentioned the UFO. Me and my cousin was sitting right here. We looked at each other like, did he just say UFO? My cousin, you remember when we saw the UFO? Yep. And I'm like, did you hear him describe it? It was the same thing we saw. Same thing we saw. Exactly, Sean. When he said it had lights and colors at the bottom of it, I said, oh my God, he saw the same thing we saw. What does it want? Why did it pick us? I'm like, what did it stop over us for? It stopped directly over us. Flashed a light. It had like a spotlight thing over us. I'm like, are we about to get beamed up? I don't know if we should move. It was hey Sean, it was the weirdest thing in history.
Right.
In history, because we don't know what to make of this.
Jeez.
and to see Prodigy talk about the same thing, Sean, they gonna think you just heard Prodigy say that. Nope. We saw that thing years ago. And the way it moved, I'm like, no blimp moved like that. It didn't just, it sailed, like cruised over the expressway. Still, like at the low range it was. It went right over the expressway. And I'm like, get somebody now. What is that? I'm quite sure people have seen that thing. Then it just kind of stopped and went straight up like into the clouds. Just like going up. I'm like, that can't be a blimp. Blimps ain't gonna do that. And I'm like, it's not shaped like a blimp. Like, what kind of new thing is that? Like, what is that? Like, I've never seen that. And never seen it since. So I'm like trying to find something military to explain, like, or any type of test flying thing to even suggest that's what it could have been. I'm like, I want the logical answer. I don't want it to be what they said it is until he just said it, Sean. Prodigy said it, and I was like, man, he saw the same thing. That's crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah, but the Black Shadows, Sean, that was the first time I ever heard something like that. Is when he said it. Black Shadows. I'm like, I gotta look into that.
Right.
Because I don't remember hearing anything about
Black Shadows.
Yeah, spirits like they like evil spirits, but I see it a lot in movies. It's like I see it in movies a lot. Like in Ghosts, the movie Ghosts with Patrick Swayze. I saw the shadows came in there. And they came only for the bad people. Like evil people. The people who was doing, when they passed away, them shadows came to get them. They didn't even have shapes or nothing. They was just shadows. And they came and grabbed their spirits and just like they just took them away. But I was like, and for like Patrick Swayze, the light came. You know, it was just a light. You couldn't even describe the light. So
you just never know.
Yeah. And I'm like, now I got research to do. I'm like, I keep running from it. So I might as well go ahead and find out what this UFO is and these black shadows.
Right.
Like me, I would have ran away. Like, I never forget what the guy said. He said, I've seen people run away from being a Christian, from God and everything because they seen too much. I said, what? He said, it's more people that leave and run away not because God ain't shown them anything. It's more people that leave because of what they've seen.
You're right. The mind can't take it.
Yeah, they can't take it. And they go away because they just wanted to go away, so they run from it. They run from their calling. I said, wow, that is something. I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
I always think people just go away just because they don't want to,
deal with it.
Right. They just want to do their own thing. They don't like rules and all that. But I had never seen somebody lose. I'm used to people saying they lose their man. I ain't being shown nothing, or they don't believe, and some ain't happening fast enough for them. But somebody actually leaving because of they've seen too much.
Right.
Now that's different.
Yeah, I believe that.
Man.
Kev, how'd you do on your games this weekend? Did you win it all?
Nah. I could have cashed out at $1,100 or stay and go out to the 2,300.
Yeah, well, I know you, Kevin. You stayed and went out to the 2,300.
Yep, and ended up with zero. I could have had the $1,100. Everybody and their mama told me to cash out.
And you didn't do it.
Nope.
Kev, that's one thing about you. One thing, if I had to give you a nickname, Kev, you know what your nickname would be?
Kev Go For It Davis, huh?
Close enough. Go big or go home, Kev. You ain't gonna settle for anything unless it's big.
Well, the 1100 would have been a good hit, but I couldn't live with myself if they won, and I would have had the 2300.
Wow.
If I'd have took that 1100, and I know I left about another 12, 13 on the table, that just crushed me.
Yeah, but now you left with nothing.
Yeah, I can live with that.
Oh my God.
Because now,
I told you, Canvas, go big or go home. There ain't no in between for you.
right, but see, that's the thing. I can't, my mind wouldn't be able to get around that fact.
Wow.
Oh, you gotta watch War Dogs, Sean.
I saw that with two white guys trying to sell those weapons.
Yep.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah. So, and that's a true story. So the thing about it is, when they went to the government, he asked them and the guy said, "Yeah, what's your offer?" He was like, "What was wrong with our offer?" He was like, "No, it was excellent. You guys asked for 300 million. We took that right away. Y'all incredible offer." He was like,
He felt like he could have made way more.
Yeah, and then he told him like, "Well, the closest bid, you guys underbidded your competition by like $50 million." Woo!
That changed everything in his mind.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! He was livid. $50 million, and he not looking at they getting 300 million. He know that 50 million they left on the table. It's got him upset that he underbidded that low. 50 million was left on the table.
That's exactly how you look at it, don't you, Kev?
That's exactly. I could not live with that fact that I left that out there on the table. I'm glad it lost because unless I'd have won it, because if I'd have took it,
I'm like, Kev, you could have been a millionaire. Yeah, but it was only 600,000. I know I could have made $1 million. Kev, you don't have the 600,000 now. I'm okay with that. It's just the fact that it could have been $1 million. I'm like, oh my God.
Plus, I had good odds, Sean. I almost won the 2300. It came down to like the last play. I was so disgusted with this team. Instead of going for it on 17 seconds, they want to go and kick a field goal and then come back and try to get an onside kick. I'm like, dude, score it. They're like, well, you got to score twice anyway. I'm like, go for the touchdown. They get the touchdown, I'll win. We're at the 17-yard line. Go for it.
Right.
Let's just kick a field goal. And I'm like, you got to score a touchdown anyway. Just do it.
Kev, I think those people be telling them in their earpiece what the odds are. All right, listen, y'all need to do this. Too many people bet on this game.
These people are just stupid. So that's what really got me is how stupid they was to cost me that money. I wish a UFO came and picked them up.
Oh God. Kev, what are you gonna eat? What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
My buddy's coming over again. Him and his wife.
To your house?
Oh yeah, they love this place.
Yeah, but what are you gonna fix to eat, or y'all gonna go out to eat?
I don't think they want to eat my cooking. They bringing food over.
Oh, well, that's all right. Then you ain't gotta cook nothing. All you doing is supply the place.
Cook? Me?
Okay, I've seen your videos where you don't cook food for yourself.
Mm-hmm. And you should see the video where I said this is it.
Oh, you really haven't fixed nothing since then?
No, I cook little stuff. But I'm talking about, yeah, when I was getting into my little Chef Kev stuff, man, people were watching that like, oh my God, no, he didn't even season that right. Oh my poor God, oh my God, I gotta get over there.
That's what they were telling you in your videos. You weren't seasoning that right.
Margie, boy, she can cook a feast. People gotta stop Margie for cooking. She just love cooking so much. She overcook. I'm like, who she think is eating all this?
Right.
That's a lot of food. I'm like, she cooked for like 25 people. I'm like, it's just us, right?
Right.
She was like, oh no, that's just the side. Now for appetizers, I'm gonna be
Right,
in
just the size.
right. I'm gonna be in a coma after
Oh
this.
God. There was that much, Kev?
It was that much food, and I'm like, my mom, I thought she was wasteful with food. My goodness, they can eat.
Wow.
I cannot eat like that. Like my mom, she's like, you're something wrong with your system. I'm like, Ma, I eat like maybe once a day, like one big power meal. And I was like, I thought I was crazy that James Prince is like, I eat like that. I was
Right.
wild. I thought I was the only person that really did that. I have like one big meal of the day, and everything else would be like just a snack or something. But I can't. My body is used to that, so it doesn't like starve for food. Or like I
Right.
gotta have something to eat. And I'm like, that's probably why my weight stays at the same level. You know, people like, you still look about the same size. I'm like, I've been 213, 215 forever.
Right.
I'm like, I've been that for a while.
Right.
215, 213. I'm like, I'm always at that weight. And every time I eat something, I'm like, I gotta be at least 250 by now.
Golly.
I feel like I'm 250. I get on the scale, 215, 220. I'm like, man, I'm not really gaining no weight.
Wow, you just can't get past that.
Yeah, I'm like, that's a good thing. So I'm like, the system is working.
Yep.
And yeah, then the nutritionist told me, he said, well, here it is, son. He said, you're supposed to eat food not because it's fun.
Right.
You're supposed to eat because your body needs the nourishment. So you're only supposed to eat enough to nourish the body. That's it.
Which is usually once a day.
Yeah, one normal meal a day. He said, but you could break them into 3 different times you eat. He said, and what you do is your body is accustomed to the system of eating at these times. He said that's why your body at certain times of the day just gets hungry because it's used to doing it at that moment in time.
Right.
He said everything on your body works as a system in an order. He's like every 12 hours normally you get sleepy. He's like 12 hours is normally when the body starts to fatigue. After 12 hours, it normally would fatigue. So if you go to bed every 12 hours, your body will start slowing itself down every 12 hours and start preparing for bed. He's like, it's like kids. When you have kids, you say you set a bedtime and get them on a schedule, they start getting sleepy around that time.
Right.
And start getting ready to go to bed because you've trained their body to rest at that point in time.
Right.
And he's like, your body don't know the time of day. It has an inner clock and a system of knowing when it's normally time to shut it down.
Right.
So he's like, you're programming your body because your body is a system all by itself. I was like, wow, I did not know that. So
I told the doctor, if I don't have no alarm clock, I ain't getting up. I don't have no biological clock. Mine broke. I said, when God made me, He gave me a bad timer. Like no biological clock at all. You better have something knocking or pushing me or waking me up.
Me, I'm a light sleeper. It's just crazy. I'll be like snoring so loud. Everybody's like, he gotta be in a deep sleep. The way he's snoring, I mean, oh, Kev, yeah. Well, so what's going on with that? Oh, nothing, man. We'll just go ahead and do that tomorrow. All right. And I would fall right back into sleep. He was like, dude, you woke up, got back in the game. You knew what everything was going on. He's like, that was crazy. You was asleep. You woke up and
got back in the game.
Yeah, like they was watching the game and I was dozed off. I woke up. I was like, yeah, they're in the 4th quarter yet? That was the first thing I said. I was like, are they in the 4th quarter yet? Yeah, did Dak just throw a pick? No, we just got a tackle. All right, well, I'm going to go back to sleep.
Oh, God, your body already knows.
Oh, no, my body knows. It's way past the line with me because it's all over the place. My sleeping, like, it's just like, we just go now. It's like just pass out mode. Because I was so tired yesterday. I was surprised because I was up over 24 hours straight. So I'm
Wow.
like, man, because my cousin was here, he didn't sleep and I didn't sleep because we both was up. So we did the Terrence Crawford podcast. Did not go to sleep the whole time, the whole day. We was up. I drove him home at like 10 in the morning, or 10:30 in the morning. We were headed home. Me and him didn't sleep. I drove him to his house. He went in there, probably went straight to sleep. I went because he was all into the word, and we was all into Matthew and going through stories, and then we was talking about Solomon, and I was like, "Isn't he the one where they put the woman in there when he was dead?" No, that was his father. That was his father. That was David. And I was like, all right. And he knows. I mean, he is like loving the Bible, man. He loves the book. And this is like, child, you just don't, because you don't know him, but if you know him, this would be like the shock of the hour.
Oh wow.
Like, this would be the shock of the hour. To have him like this and talking like this is just like unreal. So, like, he don't curse. He don't curse no more. He give up. He used to smoke cigarettes. He don't smoke cigarettes no more. He don't drink no more. It's just like a whole.
That's good. I'm glad he made a change for the better.
Different, yeah. It's just different, and I'm like, wow, unbelievable.
That's great. I'm glad to hear stories like that.
Yeah, he said 2 years ago his health was real bad and stuff. He was fasting and doing all these like Dr. Selby diets and all that stuff, and he was just
Right.
he's like, I wasn't like in the right state of mind. I was all messed up. And I was like, he was trying to do all this health herbal stuff, and he had lost so much weight, and his body was just his weight was just dropping, and he didn't even understand what he was doing. His body was like starving. Like, dude, I'm like, dude, you gotta eat something. Like, dude, it was affecting him mentally, and he didn't even understand it. Like it was bad. Like at one point, Sean, because I remember I didn't know what was going on with him. I just remember talking to him over the phone, and he would start a conversation. As soon as you say hello, and then they ran the ball, man. So that's what I'm saying, man. That's how it goes. You know, I'm like, well, hold on. What are you talking about, man? You know what I'm talking about. You saw, man. That's what they do. So they're gonna do it that way. You know, they all on the take. And that's what happens. It goes that way, and that's just it, man. That's why he's like, man, I hit you up because I know you already know. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out the reason of the call myself.
Right, Kev, that's exactly how Tanya is. Tanya just bust out. Tanya come home. Yeah, it dropped the other day. I knew it was going to drop. Like, what are you talking about? Sean, what did we talk about 2 days ago? I'm like, what did we talk about 2 days ago? We talked about a lot of things. Remember we were talking about the thing and I said it's probably going to drop up? I'm like, Tanya, you just picked up that conversation from 2 days ago. Yeah, Sean, you sure already know what I'm talking about. I'm like, oh my God. Kev, how in the world am I supposed to know that she picked up a conversation from 2 days ago?
I'll be like, let's just start it. Just pretend I'm dumb. You win. I'm dumb.
And Kev, you know what I told her earlier? I called Tanya earlier. It was about 11. It's probably about 11. I said, hey, Tanya, I said, did you want me to go ahead and do the grocery shopping for Thanksgiving, or did you want me to wait till you get home and we can just go together? Man, Sean, you know I can't do that on Mondays. You know how busy it is at work on Mondays. Man, you be choosing the wrong days. I said, oh, okay, well, no problem. I said, she said, man, we can do that tomorrow when I get off work. You know how busy it is on Mondays. I was like, all right, I mean, it's no problem. I said, well, just wait till after work tomorrow and do it. Kev, it was 30 minutes later. Tanya called. I said, I wonder what's going on. What's going on, Tanya? Yeah, we're going to do it afterwards. I said, we're going to do it afterwards. Yeah, what we talked about earlier about grocery shopping, we just going to do it afterwards because now it's on my mind. I said, oh, my God. And once it's on my mind, I can't let it go. I said, just because I mentioned about shopping after work, yeah, now it's on my mind, so now we got to go. So we just going to go when I get home. I was like, okay.
Yep.
Kev, if you just spend a day or two with Tanya, man, you be in just la la land. You just be laughing at everything.
Oh, I know it because I was just listening to all the conversations. I'm just on the phone, remembering them all. Classic. It is classic. It's just nothing but entertainment and fun.
Yep.
Especially when she was talking about when she had that guy coming in like, Tanya just ordered this thing. This guy came in here, he didn't charge her. Tanya, we don't need that. I was supposed to know Tanya was mad. She getting more mad.
Kev, Kev, in the last 3 years, by opening up the door to strangers, it don't cost us over $12,000. $12,000 in 3 years for opening up the door to strangers. That's why when people knock down, I tell everybody, don't answer the door. I tell Dom, get away from that door. Yo, once you let mommy know that somebody's there, it's over. She can't say no. Kev, our next door neighbors now sold us on about $30, $40 worth of cookies. Like,
oh my God.
Stop answering the door. Sean, it's our neighbors. We got to do it. I'm like, no, we don't.
Oh, man.
Kev, a matter of fact, about 2 years ago, I stopped her. Yeah, she was talking about this guy at the school. They sell a magazine subscription. I said, Tanya, nobody buys magazines no more. Stop. We're not buying no magazines. You're not even going to read it.
Man, I got magazines coming here, Sean. You ain't kidding. I'm 6 months behind.
Yeah, nobody has time to read magazines no more. It's too easy to access the information you need on your phone.
I remember I got these magazines because I was like liking the girl. So
she got you.
Yeah, she got me. And she don't even work there no more. And I'm like, I got these magazines. And I don't even remember. They not even attached to the store name. I'm like, who in the world's selling me these magazines? And where they getting the money from? I don't even see the bill come up.
Kev, you want me to tell you the best job that I used to crack up laughing that you had? I used to crack up laughing, man, when you were selling the Obama phones and DirecTV, aka AT&T Uverse. And you had that and Obama phones going at the same time.
Oh, those
I said, man, you don't know if you're going to get an Obama phone or DirecTV all at the same time.
Oh, that was great because I was my own boss. So
you had everybody sign up on them Obama phones.
Yeah, Sean, I had the record for everybody here. They was trying to send people from Indiana in here and wanted me to train them.
I know, isn't that crazy?
They wanted me to train them. And I'm like, y'all don't really understand how this process works. Majority of the people I signed up weren't even from Illinois. They were from Wisconsin. Once I had somebody from Wisconsin come by, that changed everything.
Yep.
I went from, because the thing is, you want to turn green. Illinois is such a backward state.
Right.
Once they gotta have their driver's license, their social on them, and their ID. The ID, social.
And how many people gonna carry their social security number on them?
Everybody else in the world who got their link card and everything else on them.
So it's the perfect people to target.
And when you go to the store, Sean, like me and you would say, who in the world would have all that information on them? They already come and will willingly give it to you. I was thinking like, well, ain't nobody would dare. I mean, if you did have it on you, ain't gonna show some total stranger, Oh, no, that's an Obama phone? Yeah, here it is, and here's my link card. Because that's what you got to have, too, the link card. So you got to have your link card, your ID, and your social. And they had it.
They already had it on them.
Yep, because they know. That's what they like we're used to showing it and going down. We can get it here? Like, yeah, you can get it here. He thought I had the phones on me. Oh, man, you ain't got the phones on? No, I'm like, nope, they mail it to your house. They was all right, here. See if I can get one. I already got one, but I might get another one. Here. Let's see if I can get it. So they were signing up, and if it colors green, they approved. Right. But normally it takes a while for it. It pins, depending on, in Illinois, everything's pending. So it'd be
Right.
like, well, we pending unless you got all this information. Sometimes they don't have all of it. They might have 2 out of the 3.
Right.
So once you take the picture of it or whatever they had the tablet that they gave you.
Right.
So everything was done then. It was like, all right, cool. There it is. It's done, sent away. Take some time. In Wisconsin, if you got one ID, that's all you need. You don't even have to have it's approved. It turned green in like 5 seconds.
Oh God!
It was like green, green, green,
Oh God!
green. So everybody waiting for like it normally take up to 24 hours in Illinois. Shoot, everything was green. The moment I did it 5 seconds ago, it was green.
Hey, look, Kev. Once you say you from Wisconsin, yes, that's great. Look at this. We'll get you approved in seconds.
I live by Wisconsin. So this
Oh,
is
see, that's right. You went to the Walmarts and stuff in Wisconsin.
yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because I remember I told you I used to go right out. I'm like, I'm going to Wisconsin.
How long did it take you to get crossover to Wisconsin?
10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Man, y'all are that close to Wisconsin?
Yeah, Antioch is the last city. I'm right next. That's why the thing that went on with the Rittenhouse situation. Remember I told you I'm right next door to it.
Yeah, but when people, next door in Texas means we're only about 2 hours away.
Yeah, that's Texas. Yeah, that's right. But next door to us mean like 15, 20 minutes. That's why I'm like, when you was talking about, if it ain't 15 and 20 minutes.
You're like, Sean, where Beaumont? Oh, man, it's just right next to us. It's about an hour and a half.
Right. So I'm like, whoa, hour and a half? That's a vacation.
Yeah, I'm like, that's right next to us, Kev. No, yeah. So you go to Wisconsin, you rack them up every time.
Yep. So they didn't know that because I tried to expand it to them. They were like, well, when we get the approval for the store, I'm like, we do. Did you read the approval that we had from the company? I could go to Wisconsin. So when I went there, I had to show them the certificate because of course they're gonna ask. And sure, at first everybody was scared of me because I was black. To come and ask me. So the one lady, they sent her to do it. Yeah, she's like, my supervisor wanted me to ask. I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. I showed it to her. They thought I was gonna be hostile, like, yeah, what you mean? Oh, I bet you if I was white, you wouldn't have asked me for my credentials. They thought they were prepared for a scene. I was like, wow. And I mean, he was scared to death. And I told the supervisor, I'm like, me and you have spoke 1,000 times. If you wanted to know, you could have. It wasn't like this is my first day here, and you asked me for my credentials. I was in here 1,000 times already. If you need some more credentials, here you go.
Right, exactly.
Not a problem. There it is. That's the letter. He was okay. Great. Thanks. Thank you. Now, I had some other people to answer to, and they asked me, and I just didn't know. So I'm like, well, now, okay, if they want to see it, let me know. I'll print it out. I'll get it to you.
Right.
But I got my permission and everything, so.
Yeah, he was totally shocked the way you handled yourself.
He was just glad it was over. He said he had such a relieved thing on there because I wasn't bothering anybody.
I can just imagine how the other black people are acting that rolled up in there.
Right, so he was just relieved because now he could just tell him, no, he showed me, he got it's legit.
Yep.
So I'm like, yeah, I got my letter of approval, everything's here. So I went there and would rack up, and they thinking I'm out here in the Illinois place. I was like, I'll stop by there, the one by my house, and that's it.
Right.
So I'm like, what do you care? As long as I got 25 to 30 people a day signed up. That's like, Sean, the money I made off that was crazy.
Right.
And then they started trying to rip me off. I said, that's it.
Right.
I'm out.
Yeah, like that is it.
Yep, I'm out. You gonna rip me off. Cause I'm like 20. That's like equivalent to about $2,000.
Right.
Then everybody get their cut out of the $2,000. Now that's one day.
Yeah.
I had over for a week. We're looking at about 150 to 130 phones. Now 20
Right.
is $2,000 at a minimum
Right.
before they start taking stuff out. That's just 20. That's one day's work.
Right.
So you've made in one day $2,000, and now everybody's got to get their cuts. That's 20 approved greens. Like it's green, it's approved. That means the money's coming.
Right.
So
Right.
if you got 20 of those lit up in a day, you can make about, without taxes, they company got to take their cut and whatever. Your cut for that day should be about $300 to $400 after everybody take their cuts.
Right.
So one day you made $300, $400, probably more. The next day starts. I got 130 phones. My check come around. It says $700. We got a problem. We got a very, very serious problem. I'm like, you might think I'm one of these guys in here that you just gave a $700 check to, plus a $150 bonus for leading in sales. Well, just come. Don't start a commotion. We'll handle this in the room. I'll cut you a check, and I'll cut it out my personal phone. I don't know. No. I don't need nothing cut from no personal funds. I just need the money I'm supposed to get. So they had to start showing me the books. If it wasn't for me, none of the people that wanted to see the book, Sean.
Right, they just took the word for it.
Yeah, I'm like, that's their job. They're supposed to show you where the money's going. I want to know where my money is going. See, you coming in here, there's people like you messing stuff up. No.
Oh, God, that's what they said. You messing stuff up.
I'm messing it up because I want to see the books.
That is crazy.
And I'm like, you are an owner. You are responsible for this. You're getting a 1099 form, not a W-2. They got to pay your individual taxes. I mean, you paying your own taxes. So you got to know the numbers. Yeah. That's common sense.
You talking about you messing it up.
Yeah, you messing this up.
Oh, God, Cat. Ain't not worse than some crooks.
Sean, they're used to getting poor people. With poor, and when I mean poor is a mind state. Yep. Like you're in poverty, you're not poor. Poor is a mind state. And that's exactly what they are, poor. Their mind state was very poor. And they thought poor.
And Cat, what about the one that I was cracking up laughing? What about the job you had when you're on that assembly line and you were doing somewhere the screwdriver caps or something? And Cat was like, I'm setting records. I said, setting records?
Oh, no. Yeah, you talking about when we worked at the Klein Tools. When we had to make those, when we made the screwdrivers. Yeah, we
screwdrivers.
Because all the Klein Tools, you can get them at any store in the world. We had to make those screwdrivers and make the screws and the flatheads and the machines. No one had ever made a record.
You were trying to break the record of doing so many.
I was doing, man. that was my goal, man. I was breaking them records. And then the next thing you know, the other guy came in and was like, hey.
You messing us up. You making the rest of us.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, what is you doing? You ain't supposed to be coming in here setting records. If they see one person can do that.
You're about to mess up the whole program. I'm sure they got together and said, we got to get rid of this guy, Kevin. He's messing it up for all of us.
That's what was going on. Because it wasn't just me. The thing was, another guy came there and was like, oh, he wanted to compete. Like, he wanted to go for the record. So me and him are battling it out every day. Like, they telling me, oh, he beat your record. I'm like, oh, man. We were about 400 off. I mean, ahead of everybody else. Me and him every day.
God.
I wasn't taking break. I'm not going to the bathroom. I'm doing that on my lunch break. We're battling. It was a battle.
Oh God.
Nobody was finna top me.
Having meetings about y'all, Kev. Like, we gotta stop them.
And I was like, if I did this, then I could be able to close the gap. And then at a certain point, if you keep going, it'll get jammed. Like if you like the metal and stuff in there, like it'll get too hot, the machine. Because we're quicker than the machine. As far as reset, hit the button, boom, reset, hitting the buttons, getting that boom. The thing is it would get so hot. God. Right, and something would break down or something. So we already knew how to run it to where the machine would not, get overheat or whatever. Because any little thing like the metal or something have to be adjusted, the thing that comes in and puts the parts in there. So the guy who got to come in and maintenance the machine to keep it running, you got to have the right type of mental fortitude to run these machines.
Right.
Because if you don't, you're doomed.
Right.
I did a training for somebody. They recorded me training how to run the machine. So they wanted to use that as the instructional for the entire company.
Wow.
Because because I knew how to troubleshoot.
Hey, look, because Kev wasn't at the same time. You kept saying, Sean, I might be moving to Texas with you. They want me to go to Mansfield.
Yeah, Mansfield,
Texas.
Mansfield, Texas. That's where they moved to. And I would still be there now if I didn't. I said, nah, I'm not going to Texas. I'm not moving.
And look, because Kev, think about that was the same time. You remember I kept Bobby, and then finally you got fresh and Kev, man, you got to monetize these videos.
Oh, no, that wasn't the same time. I was already monetized for about 5 years since then.
Yeah, but you didn't really push it. I'm like, Kev, you got to monetize.
No, I was pushing it then.
Were you?
Yeah, we had the website and everything going at that time. We had everything at that time. Yeah, that was like, because Carla.
But I think you had a different one. You didn't have. I don't think you had a Karceno for life.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. That was like 5 years earlier.
I thought that was like one crack news and something else you had monetized.
At that time when I was working at Klein, Carla J. I'm like, I was meeting Carla downtown. She was coming here for the Nate Jones thing. So this is way after that.
Right.
Yeah, I was pushing it in.
And then that's when I was like, Kev, I said, Kev, you got to tell these hood stories. That's when you came out with the hood stories and the truth behind. The hood stories and truth behind, and everything just took off.
Well, the hood stories came later. I think the hood stories came after the truth behind.
Well, the truth behind came out first, and
then
But then you kept talking about these crazy stories. I was like, Kev, you gotta put these stories out.
Oh yeah, I know, because the people wouldn't believe them. I was like, nobody would believe all this stuff.
And then when you came out the hood stories, man, they were hitting you every day with the new hoods. You got to give us a new hood story. Yeah,
I know. And I'm like, then Tori and Lavelle, everybody loved them. So I'm like, then they tried to do it. They tried to extort me for money. I'm like, what?
They tried to extort you?
Yeah, they basically was coming on with like, hey, my story is popular, your hood story, and that's kind of our story. So, like you should just cut us in and break us the money, for the.
What? They really said that?
Yeah, and then they was like, we're gonna do our own thing, the Tori and Lavelle show. Instead of doing it the right way, Tori and Lavelle just two cartoon characters, and that's just how this whole thing went. I'm like, are you nuts? I was like, I've had so many stories. I'm like, you think I'm breaking the bank off your story? Yeah, your story's entertaining, but I'm like, I was a part of it. I was there, so I could tell it. But the other ones that you got, I'm like, y'all keep them. Y'all put them out. Y'all do your own. All right, and they did their thing. This Tori and Lavelle, they had like 30 views. I was like, keep going. Knock yourselves out. Anybody can do it. Just tell a story and they get 1 million views. Go ahead.
Right.
Knock yourself out.
Oh, God.
So I told them, I think they did one. They was like, yeah, we did one. And then next week we're going to do another video. I'm like, all right. Yeah.
Right.
Good luck with that success. 2 videos every 2 weeks. Knock yourself out.
Right.
See how far you go. Man, Sean, they did like maybe 3 videos, and that was in 2000, what, 14, 15?
And they burnt out.
They were done. 3 videos. And they went back to, this ain't making us no money, man. We made 3 videos. Where the money at?
Oh God.
Oh, man.